Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making a delicious rosemary and beef cheese ball. We've got a big game coming up this Saturday. That's the Iron Bowl. This has been played since 1893 and it is a big deal here in Alabama. And we have a house divided. We've got some Auburn fans, we've got some Alabama fans. So I'm making something that will satisfy them both. Now this starts with 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I've already let this soften. I just left it on the counter for just a little bit, and I'm just going to give this a little wake-up call. Football games are so much fun. We just have the best time when we get together. Now, before I start adding all the seasoning, I'm adding the star of the show, and this is some dried beef. Now, I have some higher end, I'm going to call it, dried beef, but you can also use the jarred dried beef. You just want to make sure that you chop it into small pieces like this. And y'all, it is so good in this dip. Now next, I'm adding some bell pepper. This is optional. I'm using a little red bell pepper and a little orange, you know, a little Alabama, a little Auburn, and you can add up to 1/4 of a cup. You can also add green bell pepper or jalapeno. Usually when I'm serving a crowd, I don't go the jalapeno route because you never know who is really sensitive to spice. Next, I've got my seasoning, and all this is a little bit of garlic powder, about a teaspoon, a pinch of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of coarse ground pepper. Now, I'm adding rosemary, and I have some fresh rosemary. What you're going to do is just pull the leaves off the stem. So easy. I love rosemary. I read back in ancient times that they used rosemary as basically an energy booster, and they would keep it around and they would rub their hands on it like I'm doing and smell it, and the aroma and the oils are to boost your energy. And you know, I still think that that's a good thing today. Whenever I pass a rosemary bush, I always give it a nice little stroke and enjoy the fragrance. Now I'm going to give this a good little chop. I want to mince this up. And once this is minced, this is going to be the equivalent to about a tablespoon. You can add more or less. Really, it's all about your own preference. And next, I've got some fresh chives. I love chives, and I'm going to take my cooking shears and make this a little easier on myself. Now I'm going to fold this in just a little bit and give it a head start. And look how pretty this already looks. This is such a great thing to serve for any gathering. New Year's Eve is coming up, Christmas. There's always a good reason to have this dip. Now I'm adding 10 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese. Again, make it your own. You can add whatever shredded cheese that you like. Now I'm going to give this a stir and mix it all together. And there we go. It is done. Now I want to give it a quick taste just to make sure that I have my seasoning right. See if we need a little bit more salt. Just a tiny little one. I want to make sure I get a piece of that dried beef in there. This is already so good. But the great thing is, it's going to get even better. Now I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to let this hang out in the refrigerator, because the longer this has to just sit, the more those flavors are going to meld together, and that beef is going to become softer and permeate this entire thing. And y'all, I have to say, it's so good. Every time I serve this, I have somebody say, "What is that? It's so delicious, but I can't quite identify it." And they are so surprised when they find out that it's the dried beef. We all love it. I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, let it hang out, and when it's done, I'm going to show you how we're going to decorate this and make it the perfect appetizer for this iron bowl game. My cheese ball has been sitting in the fridge for a couple of hours, and I think it's perfect to go ahead and shape and mold. Now, I have on a pair of rubber gloves simply because, I don't know, I feel like it's easier. The cheese ball doesn't stick as much to your hands. And I am shaping this into a football. Hang on, it's coming. I've started to make a football, and believe me, this is going to come together in just a few minutes. But before I go ahead and really garnish it all the way, I'm going to add the last ingredient, and that is some pecans. These are just chopped pecans. I'm going to put some along the sides here and just push those into the sides. And now for the fun part. I've cut out some red pepper strips, or these are just red bell peppers. And I'm going to place them just right at the ends. There we go. And here's the other one. Now, to personalize it and just make it a little bit more fun for the house divided, I've cut up some red bell pepper, and I am going to make an A. I'm going to try anyway. And there's my A. Hang on, I'll turn it around and show it to you. And then I've got my AU. And I have some of these little orange bell peppers. You can buy those in a bag, and they've got all kinds of different colors in them, and they're just perfect for this dish and all sorts of other things. Now, let's see how this A is going to turn out. Don't judge me on my decorating skills, but here is my Alabama and my Auburn. I think I stand room for improvement. I'll tell you a secret. Most of the time when I serve it here, it's just got the A on it. I'm just going to take a little bit of green, maybe a couple of peppers just for looks. Maybe even some of these, make it like a charcuterie board. Y'all, doesn't this look wonderful? I think it's rather cute. Now, I cannot let this moment go by without giving this another taste test. Just take a little bit off the side here. Nobody will know. And look at that beef. Yum. Yum. Y'all, this is so good. It's packed full of flavor, and I can taste everything that's in this dip. First, I taste that beef and just the smokiness that the dried beef gives it, and the rosemary and garlic and the bell pepper really tastes good. Gosh, just take this, make it your own, and just have fun with it. No matter who wins or who loses, you will have a winner in this recipe. You're a blessing to me. Thanks so much for watching today. Make sure you follow me at Kathy Southern Kitchen on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And also for more delicious beef recipes, go to beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Well, it's game time. See you next time. Bye.